Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. I have a few Chanel goodies to show you this afternoon. They're brand new to me. I have unpacked them from their packaging that they came in, which you can see there. 2 orders to maximize the free samples because they don't do it by value. They seem to do it by order, so I divided it into 2. They're the 2 new eye palettes and a couple of the new waterproof eyeliners and a lip product that I had on my list. I've got some nail polishes coming in the next few days, hopefully, and I'll also probably talk a bit more about how these actually wear on the lids, but I thought I would just unpack them and show them because they are brand new on the Chanel UK website. I don't know if they're in the boutiques yet. Usually the boutiques get, or used to pre-pandemic, get releases about 2 weeks before the counters in department stores, but it all seems to have been haywire since the pandemic, even when the shops have opened, and the supply of Chanel new releases seems to have been very patchy indeed. So the website's a bit more realistic, although things seem to sell out quite quickly. And they didn't seem to be promoting these in any way when I actually ordered them, which was day before yesterday. In other words, you actually had to search through eyeshadows manually to see these at all, and there was very little indication that they were new. A lot of you will have seen them from the American, Canadian websites where they seem to have been released, and European websites, mainland Europe, before we got them. So I decided to get both of the palettes. This one looks as if it's already been opened by somebody. It's not me. Little card in there showing you how to apply. Useful, I suppose. They often do nice little videos on the website eventually. So this one is, let me get the name correct, Douceur et Sérénité, which I think is the lilac purple, which I thought was a very unusual colourway for Chanel, less so for Tom Ford, who's done them in the past. But I was quite taken with this. I'm not a huge lilac wearer, although I have got a few Tom Ford kind of in the lilac colourway. Pretty Baby springs to mind, which I like very much. But I thought this was so unusual for Chanel. And it is pretty, isn't it? I would call this quite cool-toned, maybe more appropriate really for autumn, winter. To me, this looks quite wintry than the current time of year, albeit the weather hasn't been great here, and particularly that grey there. But they've released it now, so now is when we're going to get it. There is a slightly satiny aubergine plum, a very cool satiny lilac, nicely pigmented, very pretty. Like that lilac a lot. Let's go with this much smokier. Oh, I like that actually. A very steely grey, and ever a favourite, although that actually is not showing up too well on my skin tone. The taupe. I don't think it's so much that it isn't pigmented, it's that it's actually quite close to my skin. Sorry, wrong one there. There's the grey. That's nice actually, because often greys are a bit kind of powdery and flaky on me. That's a pretty colour combination. I'm looking forward to trying that. It's not a colour combination I would regularly go for, but it is nice to see something new from Chanel, because they had in the Lucia Pica era, shall we say, and now a past era, really been going down the kind of warm red look in every release, which was okay once or twice, but some of us were not finding it particularly wearable or something we wanted to carry on palette after palette getting. So that, just to remind you, is the Douceur et Sérénité, and I knew immediately that I wanted to get that. I thought a little more about this one, but it just looked so nice in some of the demos on YouTube that I saw. This is Lumière et Vibration, a bit more of a standard look, and definitely a more standard Chanel look, in the kind of browns and golds. A warmer toned palette is what I'm expecting, although actually it's quite a nice, gosh, that gold is very vibrant. I was not expecting that. We've got a flash of sunlight there. I'm not sure if you can even, I'm just going to close the blind a little bit. Can you see that gold? Wow. Going straight in there. Wow. That is gold. Very yellow gold. There's been quite a bit of gold work from Chanel recently, I suppose. This is a more toned gold. So those are very, actually, kind of partyish looks. I thought when I saw this palette, particularly in stills, that it was going to be a bit like Code Elegant from a few years ago, which I need to dig out to show you. But now that I'm seeing it in person, far less so. That aubergine, which looked a bit like the other palette, let's put it there, actually is quite similar. It's more matte. It is actually, is it matte? It looks pretty matte to me. But the colour tone is very, very similar to the other palette. So you would be getting that. And then a more mid-toned, nice brown, actually, that's going to suit a lot of people. So that's also quite an unusual, for Chanel in recent years, selection. They all are appearing in the swatches on my hand not to have bags of fallout. They're not powdery. They're reasonably evenly pigmented. I'm excited to try them on the eyes tomorrow. I'm working, unfortunately, so I can't go mad with too much of an out there look. But I don't know, I think I'll go with the lilacs tomorrow and let you know at the weekend perhaps how that goes. There's a whole new load of these waterproof eyeliners. You know that I love the old formulation, and I've got literally dozens of them. So I actually controlled myself and only got 2 at the moment, which is not to say I won't go back and get more if I like the formulation, and why would I not? So I went for Bleu Métal, metallic blue. I'm an 80s girl at heart. I don't wear a lot of blue eyeshadow, but golly, I remember the blue liner days. It's actually not as metallic as I thought it was going to be. It's just a very deep blue. It's a very 80s blue. I really am going to be able to recreate 1986 with that. And Gris Graphite. I was quite tempted with the khaki and the gold. I'll probably go back for those, but went with the grey eventually. I like grey a lot as a liner rather than black. That's got a slightly more metallic. You're getting a good shot of my Apple Watch, but I'm not sure you're getting a good shot of the metallic there to differentiate it from the blue. They're applying nicely. You've really got to test these on the eye to check that they don't bleed and rub off. The old formulation I found very good, very easy to apply, and easy-ish to take off as well, but without kind of bleeding in the meantime. So I'm hoping these will be as good. And then finally, you'll know that I got one of these Rouge Duo Ultra Tenue for the first time last month, and I liked it so much I went for another one in a more corally pink. You know, I've been having a coral moment with my Lisa Eldridge lip gloss. So I thought I would ramp it up a bit with Soft Candy. Wasn't actually my first choice. The first choice was out of stock. I can't remember what it was called, but there we go. Oh my goodness. That's in your face, isn't it? I'm not sure how wearable that will be, actually. But we'll give it a try. I keep hoping for, you know, these fabulous summer nights that haven't quite happened yet, to wear that kind of corally pink and some gold highlighter and a nice kind of bronze look. You get the picture, yeah? It's not really happening at the moment, but I live in hope. So, there are my purchases. I'm very excited about those palettes, actually. They've exceeded my expectations so far with those lovely swatches. But we'll wait and see how they apply on the lids. Let me know if any of you are tempted by these releases. I think a lot of you will be if you're Chanel fans, because those palettes are something slightly new and we've all been waiting for that. But I'd be intrigued to know what you've got. Tune in the next couple of days for some Chanel nail polishes. Managed to finalise those lait beige missing ones and another missing one or two. And I shall speak to you soon. Until then, keep safe and well. Bye for now.